Yes, thank you, Judge. I wanted to make a, I guess, not so brief statement. I am shocked and disgusted by what I've seen in the last weeks regarding the use of force issues across the nation. Now I am looking at one for the first time in my own community, my own county, as the reporting on the in-custody death of Javier Ambler has unfolded over the last 24 hours. I, like you, am outraged over the circumstances of his death, shocked at Sheriff Chody's failure to cooperate with the investigation into Mr. Ambler's death, and heartbroken for his family and loved ones who almost 15 months later still have no answers. These actions and results of other actions that are coming to light have shown a callous disregard for the very laws Robert Chody swore to uphold. Today, I say enough. Sheriff Chody must resign immediately. His actions and failure of leadership demonstrates he lacks the moral authority to be a cop, and much less Williamson County's top cop. This tragedy occurred on Robert Chody's watch. The deputies involved should be fired immediately, and all involved must cooperate fully with the investigation. I am not saying defund or disband the police. I am saying get rid of the ones that discredit and disgrace the badge and let the good cops do their job.
And Your Honor, I also have a formal statement I'd like to read.
Commissioner Cook.
The continued killing of black citizens in our country under the hands of law enforcement has reached epidemic proportions, and it is horrific. Like the pandemic we've been facing, it has come to roost in Williamson County. Because Travis County District Attorney Margaret Moore has announced that she's taken the case of Javier Ambler II to a grand jury, I cannot comment specifically on that specific case so as not to jeopardize it or the current case the Wilco Commissioner's Court has with the Sheriff, Big Fish Entertainment, and Live PD. However, what I can do is comment on the job being done by County Sheriff Robert Chody. The results of the last 3.5 years of him at the helm are unacceptable. To note, many lawsuits have been filed against his office. Several are in active litigation and are being found credible. There was zero action taken by him against Lieutenant Deaton when Deaton posted disgusting vignettes of rape of females and the maiming of a black football player online. The $10 million Sheriff Office Training Center is under investigation for at least the second time by the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement due to very unethical training practices, including the use of racial and sexual epithets, unqualified instructors, and falsified records. The sheriff invited the television show Live PD back to Williamson County after the Commissioner's Court lawfully voted unanimously to withdraw from the contract with its filming crew, Big Fish Entertainment. And even more importantly, he invited them back after the assault on Mr. Ambler in March of 2019, which Live PD did actively film. And now we have revealing evidence in the tragic death of Mr. Javier Ambler II. In my strongest voice possible, I call on Robert Chody to resign as Williamson County Sheriff. I have no confidence that he has the temperament, operational intelligence, administrative ability, nor the people skills to handle the job. In short, I call for his resignation before the Williamson County Sheriff's Office falls into complete dysfunction and taking many of the good employees of the Sheriff's Department down with him. Safety for the residents of and the visitors to Williamson County are paramount. Robert Chody has not made our Sheriff's Department better, and in fact has caused decaying credibility. The status quo must be changed, and changed fundamentally. He must resign now. Thank you.
Judge. Commissioner Bowles.
So I have questions, more now than ever, especially concerning Mr. Ambler's homicide. For months I've been asking, why doesn't Live PD cooperate with anybody but Sheriff Chody? For months I've been asking, why doesn't Sheriff Chody confiscate and preserve the Live PD video? It has become clear Sheriff Chody lacks the ability to lead the Sheriff's Department. But I have other questions. Why was Williamson County Attorney Jason Nasur there that night on the scene at Mr. Ambler's homicide, miles outside his jurisdiction as a Williamson County attorney? The same Jason Nasur who, after the Commissioner's Court canceled LIPD, changed his legal position and told Sheriff Chody he didn't need the court's approval. The same Jason Nasur who, 1 month ago, on behalf of Sheriff Chody, issued a letter demanding that the court stop interfering with LIPD. Who called Jason Nasur to the scene, and why was he there? Was he there to protect the sheriff's deputies? Was he there to protect the sheriff? Or was he there to protect LIPD? Or was he there to protect all of them? Did Nasur advise them not to cooperate with the investigation? Because I've seen Sheriff Chody do very little without direct consultation of Nasur. Or was he there for himself, for his Austin, Texas private law practice? Was one of his clients in trouble? Or was he there for his business, Coke FM, to supply commentary for his business partner, Bob Cole, who often champions LIPD, Sheriff Chody, and their transparency? We know how Sheriff Chody is handling this. He doesn't cooperate. I would really like to know how County Attorney D. Hobbs is handling this, and I sincerely hope that he's cooperating. I pray for Mr. Ambler and his family. My heart goes out to them. And I pray for the good men and women of both the Sheriff's Department and the County Attorney's Office. And I pray for our community.
Judge, I think this is the time that I would like to jump to, if it's all right with you. My comment will come under 15, item 15Z, not under Commissioner's comments. I'll just add this morning that I too learned about this horrible matter regarding the tragic death of Javier Ambler II and the Williamson County Sheriff's Department's involvement yesterday with the public. That's not the kind of communication and transparency that we should have in our county. We should have a dialogue that the court was fully aware of what happened, not just a few days ago, but a year ago, over a year ago. And we have voted multiple times on Live PD, and perhaps those that have supported it and those that have communicated with my office and others can see why now. We have, for those that have communicated with my office asking us to get out of Live PD, we have attempted to distance ourselves from the show. And we have, to the point of a lawsuit, tried to get out of this after voting on it 5-0 last fall. So we are making every attempt to distance ourselves from this TV show and from the impacts of trying to make WOW TV to the detriment of our community. That's it.
We'll return back to our regular agenda, and at this time, for public comment, there is one young man that has signed up, Joseph Johnson. Mr. Johnson, if you would come and take a seat up here, please. And then before you begin, let's make sure that that microphone's on, Joseph, and that you're close enough to that.
Okay.
And you can pull it down.
I can
if
pull
you'd
it
like
down.
to.
I don't have to
Yeah.
lean all the way forward.
You're
Can you all
good.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so let me, the rules are pretty simple. Just tell us your name, what county you're a resident of, and if you're a resident within a city limits in Williamson County, go ahead and tell us that too. And
So-
then following that, your 2 minutes will begin, sir.
Thank you so much. So my name is Joseph Johnson. I'm a resident of Georgetown, Texas, in Williamson County. And I have a brief statement. I wanted to begin actually by thanking those of you who who have called for Sheriff Chody's resignation. I'm sorry, I get a little nervous when I speak publicly.
It's okay. Take your time.
Thank you all for permitting me to speak today. It's my sincere hope that this will be a learning experience both for myself and for those present. I'm not sure if honorable commissioners are aware, but the policing in this country was founded along British lines with a civilian police force that worked for the public. In fact, former British Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel once said, "The police are the public, and the public are the police." The police only being members of the public who are paid full time and attention, or paid to give full time and attention to duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interests of the community, welfare, and existence. Now, what may interest honorable commissioners is that this style of policing was set up in direct opposition to the French gendarmes, and you're going to have to pardon my pronunciation on that, which were a part of the military, which were tasked with domestic security. Now, I'm unsure of the leanings of this commissioner's court, but I am myself not one who is swayed by the affectations of French policing.